Here's the truth. These secrets do exist, and in this video, we're going to break down 5 of them. Let's get into it. So by now, hopefully you realize that the reason that you may struggle to lose weight or the reason other people struggle to lose weight is not because of lack of information. We have the internet out there. We have everything we need. We have experts in the world that know what they're doing, that know what they're talking about. And yet over half the people living in the United States are obese right now. So what is it, right? Why do some people struggle so much to lose weight, and then why do others make it look so simple? Let's break it down into 5 secrets. So weight loss secret number 1, and probably one of the most important out of all of these 5, is going to be that weight loss is an inner game. It's not an outer game. So what I mean by this is that when someone tends to approach weight loss, they usually look at it as this very surface level thing where they have to move more and they have to eat better. And while that's true, the reality is what prevents most people from doing that isn't some sort of external force, it's their own internal game. So if you currently struggle to lose weight, think about this, right? When was the last time that you said you were going to eat healthier and then something came up and it pushed you to snack late at night or to eat sweets or to just overeat in general? My guess is that it was some internal game. Right? That you were super stressed, that you were super sad, that you were super angry, or you were just overwhelmed and busy and you just needed to get something done. But for some reason, you made the internal choice to go out and to deviate from the plan. Now, I'm not blaming you, right? We're living in a society where stress is at an all-time high, where certain emotions hijack the part of the brain responsible for making good decisions, and where it really is more difficult to get your hands on healthy food and to take the time and make the time to move your body. But what people who really struggle to lose weight don't understand is that it's not about going out and trying harder to work out or trying harder to eat healthier. It's about managing that internal state, the internal dialogue, the internal emotions, all the different internal things that go into decision making. So for example, let's talk about how a man usually deals with situation. Right? I'm talking about the average male has been taught growing up that emotions are bad, they got to be stuffed down, and that it's going to be very difficult to actually express them. Right? They have to go out, they have to actually try to push those emotions out to express them, and when they do, it actually makes a lot of guys feel weak and feel like they're not good enough. But the truth is that one of the most important parts, especially if you've been pushing those emotions down, is to start to learn to manage them and to deal with them. Because what ends up happening is if you push them down for long enough, they come up and they boil over. And so if you're super stressed and you're used to just avoiding the stress, not dealing with it, not taking care of yourself, what's going to eventually happen is you're going to get so stressed that your instant coping mechanism could be moving to alcohol or to food or to watching Netflix or basically doing something that's not productive and healthy for your body. So if you are in that position where you're looking to lose weight, it's not about trying to find the most cutting edge weight loss strategy. It's not about the diet. It's not about the exercise. It's about understanding that internal dialogue and starting to play that inner game. Starting to approach it from the angle of, no, it's not about working out more and eating even healthier or trying even harder or trying to be more motivated or more disciplined. It's about going within and really starting to make changes there. Now, this is a topic I definitely want to create more content around, so make sure that you subscribe if this is something that you are looking for help with. But otherwise, just remember, weight loss is an inner game. Secret number 2 that some of the most fit people in the world know is that they have created a link of disgust and pain with being unhealthy or lazy. This is something that I cannot emphasize enough of how important it is, that when people who are extremely fit and extremely health conscious take a look at a bag of chips or they think about sitting on the couch, they don't just think about that thing, right? They don't just think about the bag of chips. They connect the feeling that they're going to feel after they consume those bag of chips with the actual bag of chips. Meaning, when they look at the food, they don't just see this thing that tastes delicious, they see this thing that's going to make them feel worse. Human beings are wired to run towards pleasure and to run away from pain, right? That's on a biological level. That's something where even if the conscious mind is completely gone, the subconscious is going to keep them moving towards pleasure, keep them moving away from pain. So I've literally thought about this, right? When I was contemplating what allows me to stay so dialed in and consistent with my health. And it really is, when I think about eating unhealthy, when I think about just vegging out on the couch, skipping a workout, I feel disgusted. I feel the literal emotion of disgust because I know that's not who I am. And I know that if I were to do that, I would feel 10 times worse than I feel right now. And so in order to execute this in your own life, we've got a couple different steps, right? Number one is getting very clear on what doing a certain thing is going to cost you. What is it doing to you when you're eating a bag of highly processed, highly inflammatory chips? What is it doing to you when you're skipping your workout, you're staying up late, you're on your phone, you're playing video games, you're watching Netflix, and you're not taking care of your sleep or you're taking care of your exercise? Just listing out that list logically, right? What is this actually costing me? Step number two is actually to create an identity around that person who chooses to eat the unhealthy foods or who chooses to be lazy, and actually give that identity a name. Back when I had a podcast, I interviewed a guy named Glenn Livingston who wrote a book, Never Binge Again. And one of his main strategies for actually going out and making sure that people don't binge is to create a disgusting identity. Like literally visualizing the version of you that is fat, that is lazy, that doesn't take care of themselves, and that has no urge to be better. And not only are you going to visualize that, you give it a separate name from yourself, so it's not your exact name, and you could literally visualize this person. And when you think about making the wrong decision, when you think about making the decision that's worse off for your health, think of this identity, think of this disgusting creature, and what could end up happening is you literally could create that connection that doing that thing is just, it gives you this gross feeling inside. And if you get that gross feeling, you're not going to want to do it. And this is massive, right? It's not something that you have to do once or twice or 3 times and it's automatically going to fix itself. It's something that you work on consistently and consciously for a long time to create that neural association, create that actual feeling in your body when you look at certain unhealthy foods or when you think about being lazy and skipping a workout. So that's secret number 2. Secret number 3 is going to be the fact that we have learned to love hard work. Some of the most fit people in the world are not taking time to be lazy. They're not dreading going to the gym and then hating the feeling after. They've learned to associate this powerful feeling with working hard. They've learned to pride themselves as part of their identity to actually be able to go out and to work hard on a daily basis. If you struggle to go to the gym, if you struggle to eat healthy, think about the association you have when you have to do something hard, right? Think about if you were to have to go and not eat for 24 hours, right? Would you be complaining the whole time? Would you be tired? Would you be focusing on all the things that are going wrong? Or would you be priding yourself on the fact that you're putting yourself through this, that you're manufacturing this suffering and actually enjoying it? Again, some of the most fit people in the world that I know are not just working out, eating healthy, and taking care of their sleep. They're challenging themselves mentally with physical challenges. They are challenging themselves with food challenges. They are taking cold showers. They're doing these things to manufacture this suffering, to create that mental toughness that's needed to actually love the process. Right? And again, it's not like they're going through these super difficult moments and in those moments loving things, but they love the feeling after, and they've trained themselves with that mental toughness to go out and do those hard things because they know how they're going to feel after. They know how it's going to benefit them. And so it's pretty obvious that today we live in a society that's just gone very soft. Right? We have so much quick access to stuff. If we need a pizza, we could have a pizza delivered to our door in the next hour. We order Amazon, it shows up at our door the next day. Go to the grocery store, get all the food we need. So many of us have become soft because we haven't created this suffering, right? We're so comfortable in our life that it's just so difficult, and we've associated, that discomfort and that pain is actually a bad thing. When in reality, if it's, of course, healthy, right? We're not talking about injury pain here and negative pain, but if it's healthy, if it's something that allows our body to go through a certain stress and then adapt, then it's a good thing. So that's a massive aspect, is just learning to understand that you are going to be manufacturing some suffering and that you have to become friends with that discomfort. You really have to get to the point where you love pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone. And this brings me to secret number 4, which is that we don't expect results immediately. I see so many guys out there, it's guys I've worked with, guys I've spoken to, where all their weight loss efforts in the past that have failed have come because they haven't been patient enough. They've wanted to rush the results. They've wanted to make all the changes at once to see massive changes in their body within a week or 2 weeks or a month. Fact is, we know that it's not about getting to that end goal. It's not about wanting to get there as quickly as possible. It's about investing all of our energy into the process. It's about learning to love showing up every single day, regardless of that outcome. Now, of course, we create the connection that if we show up every single day, we're gonna have that incredible outcome, but we don't expect that outcome in 4 weeks. We know it's going to take longer than that to make changes in our body, to make changes with our health. And we really focus on doing those things consistently and showing up every single day. And again, I want to reiterate, most people fail because they just aren't patient enough. They try to make too many changes. They think they should see results sooner, and when they don't, they give up. And so if you can just create a little more patience and a little more love for the process and actually showing up, regardless of how quickly you see results, you're actually going to be winning more. You're actually going to be enjoying the process more and seeing better results. So don't expect results immediately. Get in the state of mind where you are focused on the process, where you love what you're doing, and where you're just patient, right? You're just waiting for the results to show, being confident that if you keep up what you're doing, they're going to show up. And that brings me to secret number 5, which is by all means necessary, surrounding yourself with the right people. Again, we live in an age where there are so many people that are just plain and simple toxic. They're the ones who they're miserable and they love company, right? They want to keep you down to where they are. There's that old story of the crabs in a bucket, where if you put a bunch of crabs in a bucket and one crab tries to climb out, all the other crabs are going to try to grab that crab and bring them back down, right? And this is exactly what happens in our society. If you are surrounded by people who are overweight, who are not taking care of their body, not taking care of themselves, and you go out and you start to show a little bit of excitement for eating healthier or lifting weights, those people are going to tend to try to pull you back. Whether it's, oh, can't you skip the gym one time? I want to spend some time with you. Or, oh, it's only one piece of cake. Or, oh, it's only one more plate. Like, it's not a big deal. It's one time. These are the people we want to avoid, right? Again, look around at the most fit people you know around you, and I can almost guarantee that almost every single one of their friends, their closest friends, take care of their bodies. It's just the way it is. When you're surrounded by like-minded people, you're going to see more success in your life. Like right here. I dug this picture up. This is some of my best friends from high school and college. You can tell we're all in incredible shape. And there's a reason why it was easier for me to keep up my health during these situations, is because I had people supporting me. I had people who thought the same way as I did. It made it much more simple to just stay consistent and to stay on that path, because I was being influenced by them, because I wanted to be like them, because it felt good to be able to push myself around. So if you don't have those people in your life, find those people who are going to push you, who are going to call you out, who are going to keep you focused. And it doesn't necessarily mean give up all your friends and find a whole new friend group. It doesn't mean disown your family. You can find other people that are pushing you on, right? You can listen to podcasts. You can watch YouTube videos such as this one. You can really do pretty much anything as long as you're listening and really getting around other people who want to take better care of their health. And so I'm going to insert a quick pitch here. We have an incredible community growing of men who are all looking to get better with their health. We've actually got a free training in the description of this video that's going to break down how to simplify the process of weight loss even more. And then in the process of that, you're also going to get access to a community of a couple hundred guys that are all focused on getting better. And if you're in there, if you're consistently checking posts, if you're consistently showing up, it's really difficult to stay complacent and really difficult to stay where you are. So make sure you check that link in the description of this video. But other than that, those are the 5 secrets. Again, we've got weight loss is an inner game. We've got connecting disgust and pain with being lazy or unhealthy. We've got falling in love with the discomfort and falling in love with working hard, not expecting results immediately and knowing to be patient, and making sure that at all costs you're surrounding yourself with like-minded people. That's all I got for you today, guys. I would love if you could leave me a comment below. What is your best weight loss secret? I'm really interested in hearing these. But besides that, make sure you check out the link in the description for that free course. And of course, as always, make sure you eat smart, sleep deep, move more, and be grateful for this moment. I'll see you in the next video.